Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are on episode 87, part 7 of the S's. But before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, hit that bell icon if you want any notification of future content.
Or click the link below and there you'll find all of our social media.
Yeah. Okay.
15 games, 15 more games that start with S.
We're only halfway through, guys. Sorry.
Okay, well then I guess we need to get started here.
Yes, although I do want to say, the last video ran very long. We're going to try and keep it a little shorter this time.
She says that.
I'm gonna try. Okay, let's
start off with a quick one here. Spectrix.
Spectrix, this was a Goodwill find. It was just a little card game. 2012 Preferred Choice Award. Right? Okay. This is the deck of cards. It's a big color wheel. Oops, I got too many cards in my hands. Can't. So there you go. Big old color wheel. This is essentially Rummy with cards.
Yes.
That's all this is. Everybody has this color wheel cheat sheet in front of them, showing the order that the cards are in, aka 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, exactly. A run would be 3 or 4 of a row of the colors in a specific order.
Correct.
A set would be 3 or 4 of the same color. So everybody has a certain number of cards in their hand, and you're trying to make runs and sets. Now, here's the big key. Unlike regular Rummy, everything goes in the middle of the table, and then the person who goes out first gets points based on what's left in everybody else's hands.
Yes.
First player to a certain number wins. But you're literally, and of course I don't have any sets in my hand here, but you're literally putting cards down in a specific order and saying, okay, there we go. Or there's, whatever goes with this. And actually these three are a run right there. How about that? But they go in the middle of the table, and then the next person can play off of those and just keep building. Or better yet, they can start rearranging. So as long as nothing is left, if they had these in their hand, they could literally pull from this set and take this to make the rest of their set. Mm-hmm. That was interesting. The fact that you can rearrange all the cards.
Yeah. But it's actually, when somebody goes out, the cards you have in your hand, you get those points, because if you hit 100 points, you are at, because this has player elimination.
That's right. That's right. You're right.
If you make 100 points, you're out. It's a last man standing game.
It was different. Mm-hmm. We're going to let this one go because
it purposely gives you box left.
It does, which is silly for a game this size, but whatever. But we're going to let this one go. It's Rummy. And confusing Rummy, because I was I found myself referring to that sheet constantly and literally holding cards up against this to see, okay, which color is this actually?
Right, yeah, because some of the greens are kind of like...
The greens are similar. Yeah. The orange and the red are very, very close. It was a little more complicated than I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spectrix. We're going to let this one go.
Next we have Space Junkyard
by Mayday Games.
This was the surprising one of this group.
I fully expected this one would leave. I didn't know anything about it. Just kind of figured, it's an unknown game. It looks kind of generic tile lane game on the back. I thought for sure this one was going.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So this one is kind of interesting. You've got a bag. All the tiles go into it based on your player count. You put a certain number of tiles into it. There is a central board out here. This holds all the tiles. You start the game with so many tiles out. And actually, you don't replace tile. No, yes, you do. You keep replacing tiles because you push from one side and
Yes.
tiles fall off. Okay, so on your turn, you can move your spaceship. There's resources for resource management, and then there's 3 different types of resources. You've got your little plastic spaceships. And on your turn, you're essentially moving your spaceship around this set of tiles. You can move up to 3 spaces. You can spend an energy and move up to 3 more. You can retrieve either 2. Where is it? Oh, I don't want to. You can retrieve, there's 2 different kinds of tiles. There are asteroid tiles that will give you resources, or there are ship pieces. And the idea is that you are flying around this mobile junkyard looking for resources, which you garner from these, and pieces to add to your ship. Everybody starts with a base piece, and then you continue adding and making junctions like so. So if I were to connect these 2 pieces, which is totally legal, this was a bad example though, but maybe I was going to do this. You wouldn't think that'd be legal because the lines don't match up, but it is.
Yeah.
It's just expensive to do because this would cost me 4 energy. One of the red, and I don't remember what the red and blue are now, but it would cost me all of those. Keep collapsing the board on me.
I'll find out. I'll remember what alien metal alloy.
That's the blue?
It's carbon, metal, and energy, basically.
So this is carbon. No?
Blue is carbon. The red is alien metal.
Oh, metal, and then that's energy. Okay. So anyway, I would have to pay all of those pieces to connect these 2 together. Each ship piece does something slightly different. So like this one will let me store 3 extra pieces. Your starting piece, which is here, lets you store some every round and also gives you 1 yellow piece every round. This will let me store 3 additional yellows if I want to or if I need to.
Energy.
Energy, thank you. The bottom corner tells me that if I can't add this to my ship, because I have to add it now. If I pick it up, I have to add it now. If I can't add it, I can recycle it for these resources, so long as I have a place to store them on my ship, because if I can't store them, I can't keep them. Let's see, that lets me actually grab either a red or a blue at the start of the round. And then there was another icon here, we only saw a couple of, that would let me transmute 1 item to a different item.
Yep.
If you had them.
Yep.
It was just, I actually really enjoyed this. It was interesting the way they simulated the junkyard moving. Because as you took pieces, everything didn't just fill in. What happened is you would take a piece off the board and then draw another piece from the bag and slide it. Didn't have to be in the aisle you just took it from, but slide it in on one side of the board and every piece in that column would move. If there was a ship in the way, then that ship would just move under something, or the ship.
But it kept the gaps.
It kept the gaps, yes. It didn't fill in the gaps. So if there was a piece here, here, gap, here, this piece would literally just slide out of the debris field and everything else would just slide down, keeping its spacing. It was really interesting the way that worked. It just to simulate just this junkyard moving constantly, this flying junkyard.
And it gave me enough feel of, what the heck is the name of the game? You don't know. Galaxy Trucker.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it either.
Because the building of the ship gave me that whole Galaxy, kind of a Galaxy Trucker feel. But in Galaxy Trucker, you don't have to pay to put the pieces on this one you did.
This one's more of a resource management where that one is not. We're going to hold on to it for now. It's going to stay in the other collection. That's where it's been. But yeah, I really like this one. So yeah, that is Space Junkyard by Mayday Games.
Yep.
All right.
So we have Spectrangle.
Spectrangle. Okay.
What's your angle of attack?
All right. So Spectrangle actually reminded me of Triominoes. Yeah. So this is the board once it's all put together. Right.
Once it has
goes
all the tiles
this
on it.
way. Yeah. Once it's all put together. So At the start of the game, all of these go into a bag. And you've got scoring pegs, which are underneath this plate. This whole plate comes out, and there's scoring pegs underneath it. But you have the scoring pegs that keep track of your score. And on your turn, you are laying down one tile. You have a couple tiles in front of you. Everybody can see them. They're double-sided. There's no hiding them. But everybody can see what colors you have. Like Triominoes, where you have to match up the numbers in order to lay it down, this one you have to match up the colors. And then there's one wild. The scoring is where it gets interesting. So, for instance, if I laid down this piece, maybe this was the board already, and I laid this guy right here, I'm making a single connection. So it's 5 times a single connection, so times 1. So I'd get 5 points for having laid this down. If I laid it here, and I don't know if you can see this, this is a special bonus tile, bonus location, because there's a 3 there, even though I know for you it's upside down. But if I laid this here, then it's 5 times a single connection still, so still 5 times the 3 that I laid it down on. So now I'm at 15.
But if this one
But
was
if
there...
this, oh, turn this around, so this actually fits right. But if I laid this guy down, so maybe this was my piece, I would get the 3 times 2, because I'm making a double connection, it would be 6 points. But likewise, if it was this piece that was the last to be laid, and I would have been foolish to allow my opponent to do this.
Yes.
But if this was the last piece to be laid, 5 times 2 for the connection, that's 10 times another 3 for that bonus spot. So the points escalated quickly. It was still a fairly close score, as I recall. It was only like 6 or 7 points difference between us.
Yep.
I thought it was neat. I love the pieces. I love how colorful they are. I thought the scoring was interesting, but in the long run, it's Triominoes. I don't like the box.
No.
I think I hate these triangle boxes. They are a pain to store and a pain to travel with, and that's really what it boils down to for that collection. So we are going to let this one go. I mean, overall, it goes together well. It's just, like I said, it's just hard to store. So anyway, Spectrangle is going to leave the collection, but nonetheless an interesting game, interesting scoring. So, okay.
Okay, now we're going to bring a big old beat up game from your childhood.
Yes. This is one. Let me put this back together.
You did?
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm positive.
Anyway, I played this a lot as a child. This came from the mid-70s, I think. My sister and I played this a lot, to the point where we had memorized all the cards and had to make a cover on the cards just so we could no longer see the picture. Didn't help, we still memorized all the questions. So this is essentially a trivia game. The board is just a depiction of the solar system. That's it. Complete with Halley's Comet, the asteroid belt, and Pluto way up here in the corner. Because, you know, what 80s solar system game didn't have Pluto in it, as it should have. So again, like I said, this is essentially a trivia game. On your turn, you are drawing one card at the start of the game, I should say. You are drawing a card, you are reading the question, and you are secretly trying to get from wherever you started at to this location based on what this card says. And this one says, go to the planet who appears to be laying on its side. Well, if you think you know what that is, then head that direction. Once you get there, you look at, there's this little code down here in the bottom. This particular one says God, I can't read it, J931. So then I go to my decoder and I look at J931 is Uranus. If I happen to be at Uranus, I grab an SNC card. I never did find out what these stand for, but that's okay. I grab an SNC card. I think we figured it out as kids, but I do not remember now. I grab one of these, keep it secret from my opponents. The first person to 25 wins. at the start of my next turn, I grab another card and I proceed to the next planet. Seems simple enough, but some of these questions are not exactly easy. Go to the planet which moves fastest in its orbit around the sun. Mercury. Go to the hottest member of the solar system. Mind you, the sun is depicted on the board, so obviously this is going to be the sun. Some of them are way more obvious than others. Some of them, the pictures help you out. Not all of them. I mean, go to the third largest member of the solar system. Well, gosh, I hope that's Saturn, because that's what it's depicting. I was fascinated with astronomy at that age, and this really fed that fascination, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Yes, it never says, does it?
Nope.
And the S and C cards range anywhere from 2 points to, I think, 5 points. Maybe 6. I think 6 might be the highest.
I don't know. I didn't get that many.
I got
a lot of these freaking cards.
The hop cards, if you roll doubles, you complete your turn as normal, just on the off chance you can get to where you need to go. But if you don't get onto the planet by an exact count, then if you roll doubles, you grab a hop card, and the hop card could land you right where you were going. It did that to you once.
After it took me all the way to the other side of the board.
But usually it takes you to the other side of the board. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to hold on to this one only because it is one of my favorite games from childhood. I have very fond memories of this game. And for that reason, even if it never comes off the shelf until we have grandkids someday, we're going to hold on to it. So, but that is Space Hop, a game of the planets. Only outdated in the fact that Pluto is no longer considered a planet, which is sad.
Depends on who you talk to.
Exactly. Anyway, okay.
And Saturn's not the only one with rings.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I think it's is it Neptune or is it Uranus that has rings now?
Heck,
that they found rings.
Oh well, this was in '81 though, so.
Because that's not Saturn. I think that's
C537.
I mean, in this game, they probably say
it probably
Saturn,
is. This was 50 years ago.
I think it's Uranus or Neptune that has rings now.
I do remember something about that. C537. Keep going. It is Saturn.
Yeah.
That card is Saturn. Not that you can see that.
Nowadays, it'd be hard because, like I said, I think they say too. Because I think they even said Pluto is, or not Pluto, Jupiter is starting to
show rings.
Show rings.
How weird.
This one's hard to pronounce.
Speicherstadt.
The Speicherstadt. This is a Steffenfeld game. An older Steffenfeld game from when?
I don't know.
2010.
2010. Okay. We found this at the
Gen Con flea market.
Yeah, the flea market at Gen Con last year, and we finally got it played. It's essentially a bidding game, bidding auction type of game. So here is your
Speicherstadt.
Yep, this is the right. Based on your number of players, you've got cards laid out here on the bottom. Each card does something slightly different. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are certain groupings of cards. There are cards that...
There you go.
There you go. Thank you. Basically, oops.
The oops?
Basically, yes, that oops. That basically just give you endgame points depending on how many of them you collect. There are ships that come in with goods on them. When a ship comes out onto the board, then you just put some goods on it. And there's, I think, 3 or 4 different kinds of goods. There are firemen that will protect you from the fires that keep hitting the city or the shipping district or warehouse district, whatever this is. There are traders that will let you trade specific goods for coins. Coins are how you bid on how you pay for this stuff. There are contracts out there that you can trade in goods to basically get victory points at the end of the game. You put the goods on here and set it aside, and at the end of the game you get victory points for them. Let's see, there's another trader, another counting house, another fireman, another trader.
Warehouses. Did you find the warehouses?
Oh, there are a couple of warehouses in here that let you store more goods. Because at the start of the game, you can only, yep, there it is right there, in fact. You can only store one good. You can store one good down here. This is basically your home card. This is your warehouse. You can store one good. It's a very small warehouse. You can trade goods in to get something different if you need something very specific, or you can sell 2 goods just for coins. So the way this generally works is you've got cards laying out here based on your player count. Everybody has 3 workers. And the workers, you're putting workers out based on which card you want. And you start down here at the bottom and you move up. So maybe I'll put a worker here and Greg puts one here. And then so I go over here and Greg goes here. So I go here and then Greg goes up here because he really wants this one. So once everybody's placed all their workers out, whoever is first in line has to pay coins equal to the number of workers in that line. Yep. So this card would cost me 3 coins if I want it. If it's not worth 3 coins to me, I can just take my worker off of it and pass.
And now the next person in line.
The next person in line can now get it for 2. Well, Greg bid both of the next 2 people. He can just remove his first worker and get that for 1. Why wouldn't he do that? Then we go over to here where I also put a worker. Okay, this one's worth 2 to me, so I'll go ahead and take it. Well, nobody else bid over here, so Greg gets this one for 1 too. So you're paying coins equal to the number of people there, but if you don't want it, you can pull your people back off. And now the next person has access to it. So you can artificially, if there's nothing you really want, you can artificially raise the price on somebody.
Yes, because if you don't take a card,
there.
Yeah, if you don't take a card, you get a coin.
Yes, you get an extra coin at the start of the next round.
Money's tight in this.
Money is extremely tight in this. This reminded me of Jorvik, and I don't know which one came out first. Actually, we looked that up. This one came out first, Jorvik. Jorvik just had a totally different theme, but it had this same worker placement
Yes, it did.
mechanism, which we didn't like in Jorvik. But then again, we played it 2-player, but Jorvik I felt like was...
we played it a long time ago.
It was a while back. That's true. You really liked this one.
I did.
Okay. I was okay on it. It kept... Like I said, I immediately recognized the mechanisms from this from Jorvik, and I remember liking that one.
You remember Jorvik a lot more than I did because I was like, I know the box. I could not tell you how to play the game.
Yeah, I mean it was okay. I would be curious to try it at a higher player count.
Higher player count. Yeah, I can play up to 5.
I don't think this is something that should have been designed for 2 players. If that makes sense.
It should at least be 3.
I think this should be at least a 3 plus. Yeah. So I would be curious to try this at a higher player count. So anyway, that is Spectrix, and we are going to hold on to it for the moment. Well, we're probably going to hold on to it because it's Stefan Feld.
We can hold on to Space Hop. We can hold on to that.
Okay. All right.
Next we have Sort It Out. And I'm still trying to sort it out as how they get box lids on wrong.
Easy, just like this. Sort It Out is essentially a party game. Simple as that. Here's your board. I liked the game. The board started to get frustrating at the end.
Yes, it did.
We'll come back to that though. So the way this game plays, everybody has their little voting card. Thing. It's a timed game. We weren't procrastinating so bad that we ever even turned the timer over. We just did what we needed to do and moved on. So the way this one goes, you draw a card off the top. There's 2 different kinds of cards. And on the top of the deck, somebody is reading out the question and putting the card where everybody can see it because the colors and the information on the card matter. So for instance, this one, so we had this one too. Sort these Titanic movies by their release date.
Yes, there was more than one.
Yes, yeah, right. A Night to Remember by Roy Ward Baker. Titanic by James Cameron.
That's the one everybody knows.
That's the one we know. Titanic by Herbert Selpin and Werner Klingler. There's a devil in there. Klingler. Atlantic by Ewald Andre Dupont, and Titanic by Gene Neguloso.
There you go.
Neguloso, sure. So
Neglesco.
everybody looks at this card, takes all these pieces. Now you're going to start the round with all these pieces out, especially if you're timing yourself. And you're putting these in order from earliest to latest based on these colors. Well, I know, I'm hoping I know, Titanic by James Cameron came out last. So I'm going to put my purple one in the latest, down in the 5, because that's the only one I know of. So I'm going to assume it was the most recent. The rest of them, yeah, I don't know. The rules state that if you don't want to, if you have no idea, you do not have to put any of these in. Just put in the ones you know. And hope you still get them in the right spots, because that, not always. And you might do that based on where you are on this board. So if you're in one of the pink 2s, you don't lose anything if you're wrong. You just move forward 2 spaces for every one you get right. Same with the green 1. You move forward 1 space for everything you get right. You don't risk anything, though. You get over to these spaces, though. You move forward 2 for every one you get right, but you move backwards 1 for every one you get wrong.
Yep.
Same here, only this is 2 and 2. Safe zone. The safe zones mark spots that once you pass them, no matter how far you have to go back, you can't go back any further than that. So after everybody has made their choices, and we're just going to throw some colors in here. We're going to we'll do that one there, and then we'll put this one here, and you're going to tell me where. I have no idea. I'm probably butchering this all together. Okay, so here's my final answer.
You got 2 right.
I got 2 right. So I'm looking at this going, well, I got the orange one right. Titanic by Herbert Sepian was, oh, I can't read that.
That's number 2.
Was 1943. James Cameron's was 1997. I still cannot believe it was that long ago.
Yep.
Night to Remember, 1958, which would have been the yellow one. Titanic by Gene Neguloso was 1953. That was the blue one. And then this green one was Atlantic, was 1929. I had no idea there was that many movies about it.
Nope.
I mean, I get why there would be. But the other one that's in there is like this one here, Select Creations. It's cards like this, where they're yellow, and it says, this one says, Select Creations that were made by Michelangelo. Michelangelo, I know. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's not right. A drawing of the how do you pronounce that? Vitruvian Man?
The Vitruvian Man.
Vitruvian Man, okay. Design of the dome of St. Peter's Basilica, the Statue of David, painting in the Sistine Chapel, or the lead pencil. It tells you there's a maximum of 3.
That are correct.
That are correct. And in most of them, there actually was 3. So, now, ironically, we've seen some of these. So we knew some of them. I did not realize the Statue of David was Michelangelo, though. I thought he was a
They only
painter.
said it when we went and visited it.
Well, okay, that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
But still. Anyway, so you put in any one of the chips into this. So into just the ones that match up. So say I did this. I would be right on this one. And then you flip the card over, and you match up. The ones that have chips in it, doesn't matter the color, those are the ones that are right, based on the ones that are yellow in here. I thought some of this was pretty interesting myself. Some of the topic cards were very interesting. You did not like it. Yes, all of them.
Yeah, these were great. Some of these were like, really?
This one was interesting. Sort the poker card hands by probability. Not by how strong they are, by the probability of being dealt them in out of a deck of 52. But yeah, a lot of these I thought were pretty interesting. I liked this. You did not. No. You did not care for it. We are going to let it go only because we have a lot of party games. But I did kind of like this one. So we went back to the score, and it has a score of, I think, 5.5 on BGG. So we're going to let this guy go. But an interesting party game, nonetheless. Lots of conversation about it, around it. So anyway, sort it out. Going to leave the collection. All right.
Now we have Space Lines. This is another, what is that? Oh, look, it was originally $2.98.
Yes. This is essentially Cubic.
Yes, that's
This
the game
is,
I
yeah,
saw about.
which we talked about back in the Qs. Cubic was a game my dad had when I was a kid. I found a copy at Goodwill, and that's the copy we have.
And I realized I was horrible at.
You won this one, though.
I won this one,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, and I shouldn't say the only difference. The biggest difference with this one is the board. It's just the pieces themselves.
It was sturdy.
Yeah, the board clipped together. Oh, these were hard to get out. I don't know which was worse, the other one.
Well, the other one's just rods.
Yeah, these are like really sturdy. The other
Yes.
ones are very fragile.
Yes.
The whole board builds like this. And
With the pegs up.
With the pegs, yes, with the pegs up. So you've got essentially this, and I've got a picture of this, so I will show a picture of the board put together. But essentially the board is standing up like so on the table. And everybody has a set of colors, and the main goal is that you are trying to get 4 in a row, whether it be 4 across. And I do like these because the pieces actually lock in place, so there's no question about them getting bumped around. So whether you're getting 4 across or you're getting 4 diagonally, and I moved the wrong one if I was going to do that, or better yet, you're going 4
up and down or
like
diagonally
so.
across.
Right, because you can even do like,
Because there's 4 levels.
yeah, you can do like, okay, let me do this.
Well, you got that one over there. You have this
And
one.
then this guy would be up on this level.
Oh, yeah.
I've always liked that 3D checkers type of thing, 3D chess type of thing anyway. There's lots of games that do it. I think this is actually the 3rd one now we've come across that did it. I do not remember the last one. I think we got rid of it because it was exactly like Cubic.
Well, Holy's a lot like this, too.
Holy's a lot like this, too, yes. Only Holy does other things.
Yes, it does other things.
There's more to it than just the
It's only
in
2
a row.
levels. Or is it 3 levels?
Holy is 4. Holy's 4.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure Holy is 4. I could be wrong.
No, it's like right over there someplace. It's right down there.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. This one is hard to decide. I have been thinking about this all week, and I have emotional ties to Cubic, but this one is just more sturdy. And it does the exact same thing.
And I can win this one.
I think in the long run, we're going to end up keeping this one and letting go of Cubic. But in BGG, it's under Cubic. Literally, you look up Cubic, and this is one of the variations of it. I don't, I'll have to look to see if
Well, this is also missing pieces.
This is missing 2 red pieces, I think. It made this place 3-player, so does Cubic.
Yeah.
It may be that you're supposed to use the red and blue, or the yellow and blue, and the red is supposed to be only for 3 players. I don't know. That being said, I've never seen another copy of this.
Nope.
So I don't know how easy it would be to find these pieces. They're not just the little poker chips like Cubic uses.
Yep. Who put that game out?
So I am very torn on this one. I really am. Pack away. An old company. Yeah. For now, it's going to stay. If I can bring myself to get rid of Cubic, then it will continue to stay.
Yep.
But it's a good game.
Yes.
I do like it. Anyway, yeah.
I'm undefeated at that game.
Because we played it once.
It's still undefeated.
And I was distracted, and you beat me in my distraction.
How were you distracted?
I don't know. You distracted me somehow. Anyway.
Next is Space Invaders. This is a game we learned that Katie can't use the little flippy thingy.
God. Okay. We'll go back to Sorry from last
We have
round.
a video. Watch this.
Yes, we have the video. I'm going for this one.
Okie dokie.
Watch me in it this time. Okay, but it landed on the planet, so I get to shoot again. That's 1.
Okay, it's over here.
Okay, it's on the planet, so I can shoot it again. Well, at least I got 1.
At least you hit one.
Okay, so I'm very bad at dexterity games. And just in general, I'm very bad at dexterity games.
So am I.
I'm
but
no
at least
good.
I hit cards.
I'm no good at crokinole. I was really bad at the sorry. What is that called? What was that? What we just talked about last game, last
Sliders.
Video. Sorry, sliders. I was really bad at that. This is even worse.
I've never seen somebody that uses a flipper that has a hook.
It did.
I mean, it would go up and it'd go that way. And I was like, going, are you aiming that way? No, she's aiming this way.
I was.
Because at one point you pointed a card that's over here and it goes off the board over there.
Okay, so how this plays, this is the 2-player side. There is a 3- and 4-player side as well. So you have cards up here to depict all of the aliens. This is Space Invaders from our childhood video games.
Some of our childhood video games.
Yeah, I never played it. Well, I think I probably did in an arcade somewhere, but...
Well, I meant there might be younger people playing and watching.
Okay, this is true. Sorry. Anyway, so this is your board. There are cards that depict the aliens that are coming down from space. And you have this 3D model. I'm not even going to try to put it together. This little 3D cardboard model of the spaceship that you also have to take out to win the game.
Which I don't remember in Space Invaders.
I don't know, whatever. But anyway, there's all these aliens that come out, a row of 5, 4 possible rows, and they all do different things. There's shields that shield everybody around you. They have little arrows on them to tell you how far they move at the end of the round. There's ones that just move down as far as they possibly can. All sorts of stuff in here. These are laid out on the board like so. Like this. This is cooperative. All players take their turn before the aliens move. To take your turn.
That is your enemy.
To take your turn. And everybody even has special powers. I think mine worked once. But you get so many of these at the start of the game, depending on player count, between 2 and 3 of them. You get more as the planet is damaged, because as aliens make the planet gets damaged, and as it crosses any of these lines, then you get more of your pieces. You are setting your pieces into the little flicker, and
We're
look.
about to lose a piece. Go ahead, show them your skill.
Anyway, so I'm going to try not to hit this too hard because I flew one clear across the room.
Get ready to duck. Or not, because it may only go to here.
It probably will. Okay. They even give you a little knob to hold on to it to make sure it stays steady. And you just flick it. See, I did that on purpose, though.
Oh, okay.
You flick it. And you
Doesn't go
hope.
too far. It gets off the planets.
Yeah. You hope it gets off the planet. Yes. And
Far enough
lands,
off the planet to hit an alien.
And lands touching at least one card. Bonus if you get 2 cards, because you take them both out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was doing that left and right.
You were. The only reason we even survived 3 rounds is because you were taking aliens out. I might have taken out 4 the whole game.
Yes.
It was...
I think that's even stretching it.
We have to play it again and keep track of actual kills. It was fun. It's not a game I'm good at. It is certainly not a game.
Oh, really? I'd never guessed that.
Oh, my goodness.
You're not even remotely good at it.
No.
Jeez.
But it was fun.
We're doomed if we're ever attacked by aliens.
We are going to hold on to this one. It does sit in the travel collection. We moved it. I always put them on facing away from me so that when I lift it up, it's just there. Anyway, we're going to hold on to this one. It does sit in the travel collection, and I think it will be a good addition to that collection. It is fun. I will give it that. It is a lot of fun. I'm just horrible at it. Anyway.
That's being nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I admit it.
Next we have Speedy Graffiti.
He hates these kind of boxes. Something tells me we're going to get rid of this one just for that reason alone. Anyway. Okay, so we played this with our friends, Rob and April, the other night. And this is another one I fully expected to just leave the collection. We laughed pretty hard at this one. I'm not 100% sure we were playing it exactly right, but we tried. Everybody starts off with 5 cards in their hand, and then one player sets the timer. Make sure that's off. One player sets the timer anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute 30 seconds. And then the dealer passes out 5 cards to each player. So you have 5 cards in your hand. And then there's 4 cards laying here on the table. Here, I'll give you there. You take those 5 cards.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, that's actually
I got
funny.
about as good of a hand that I got
Right?
the whole game.
So then what happens is whoever's in charge of this turns it on. We're not going to leave that on because it's very loud.
Oh, no.
But meanwhile, the other players are flipping these over. And you have to make a word. It can be a 3-letter word, 4-letter word, doesn't matter. Lid. Okay. So from here, everybody else, this is all simultaneous. It is not cooperative. You can lay down more cards. The key is you have to lay down, there you go. You have to lay down at least 1 card out of your hand. Everything else can already be on the table, but you can keep swapping stuff out as long as 1 card comes out of your hand each time you do it. So, like I may go, he's got 4 letters. I have to do at least 4 or 5. Groom. Now I have 1, and all these letters are out here. Everybody can make use of the letters out here. You just have to take a card out of your hand every time you make a new word. And it has to be equal to or greater in number. Now, as soon as this timer goes off, which I don't think I can't force it. As soon as the timer goes off, whoever created the last word that was out there gets those cards, and these become points at the end of the game. They're out of the game. They go into his victory pile.
Which didn't happen much.
No. Everybody else draws back up to 5. So everybody starts back off with 5 cards again. All of these cards, the cards that were not used in the last round, that were on the table and not used, go to the bottom of the draw pile. Game ends when the draw pile is completely empty because everybody has all the victory point cards. It was chaotic, but it was fun at the same time. I mean, April and I were literally standing up the whole game.
Yeah.
Mind you, we were playing on a big game table, so we had to in order to reach the cards, but it was fun. Poor Rob, when he finally got a word that lasted until the bell went off, he stood up and jumped up into the air. It was so funny. We had a good time with it. We're going to hold on to it, but it's kind of on a trial basis. We'll see how it goes at a couple of events once we start getting them booked again. And we'll go from there. So it may or may not stick around. We'll see. But that is Speedy Graffiti, an interesting little word game. I liked it.
Okay. Next we have the Spill.
Spill. We've had this one for a few years. I already know what you're going to say. We've played this now 4 times. We lost our first 3. We finally did beat it.
And how did we beat it?
Because we worked as a team. Anyway.
What was the difference between the 3 losses and the win?
I left my zone, and we still won.
You barely left your zone.
Whatever.
You went like 2 spaces over, not clear to the other side of the board, and left your entire zone unprotected.
I do not always do that. No. I'm going to be playing it again at Ladies' Night on Friday.
That's fine.
So we'll see how it works out. I'll stick to that strategy and see if it works.
What, going all over the place?
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, here's your board.
Yep. In your quadrants.
And the quadrants. The board depicts an oil spill out in the ocean. At the start of the game, first you pick your win conditions. Everybody picks their special player character, and all of the different characters have special abilities.
Thing that they can do.
Yeah, they all, there they are. They all have a special ability, an asymmetric ability. Like the meteorologists can, they're not affected by certain dice rolls. In fact, when a specific dice roll is rolled, they actually get an extra action point. So, and there's only one of those weather. There's 4 weather dice in the bag. Only one roll on those weather dice is good. All the rest of them are negative. So you pick your win condition. There's a multitude of win conditions, so you can make it as easy or as hard as you want to. And the win conditions range from save contaminated animals. Contaminated animals are animals that have been soaked in oil, unfortunately, to rescuing a total of a certain number of healthy animals on this board, to removing a total number of oil dice from the board. So the way this works, though, you've got this dice tower out here, and I'll show a picture of the whole dice tower put together. But you've got this dice tower out here that essentially rolls dice out of it, and it spills all over the bases. So this is making them fall into different quadrants as it lands, and there's like a little fence down here to keep them contained.
Kind of like Dark Tower.
Yeah, basically. And once you roll the dice, those dice go out into the quadrant where they fell, into those areas. If you can see that, I'll put this over here so you can actually see it. They go into the quadrants where they fell based on the roll of the dice. There are animals, and I'm sure you can probably see some of these animal pictures posted here. There is a whole bag, or maybe not, I don't know. There's a whole bag full of animals that are laid out here as well. So throughout the game, as a team, you are working to rescue the animals. You only get 4 actions per turn. Some things cost as much as 3 actions to do, though. So you can rescue an animal. Once it's been contaminated, it's a little bit harder to rescue, but you can still do it. If you fail to rescue a contaminated animal and they get hit by oil again, then they go down into sick bay. Sick bay is a losing condition if you get so many in there. When some of these quadrants fill up, they get what's called a spill out token on them. You get 6 of them, that's a losing condition. Well, like any big cooperative game, there's a dozen ways to lose and usually only one way to win.
Yep.
In this one, there's actually 2 ways to win. You could fulfill the requirements on whatever win condition card you chose, or you could run the dice out of bags. Oh. Shall I redo that?
No, don't.
Or, okay, you can run the bag out of dice.
That's better.
And you do that by removing the dice, removing the oil. There are 2 different ways to do that. There is one way you can just push it back. Well, then they go back in the bag. So you're never really going to run the bag out if you do that. There's a way to remove the oil completely. You've completely cleaned up that section. In which case you take the die and you put it onto the board into one of these spots here. Those never go back in the bag. So you are effectively running the bag out. We got close. We only had like a dozen. No, we didn't even have that. I think we only had like 6 or 7. We had literally 2 more rounds and we would have won the game anyway. But we managed to meet our win condition.
Yes,
so we actually won. But man, this board looked pretty bad by that point. It was covered in dice.
Yeah, but we took out, grabbed a bunch of animals from the beginning.
Very early in the game.
Left areas open then because
Yes.
the animals were no longer there.
Right. So we were able to allow some of the oil to build up in a couple places
And we
because
stayed
we
in our
removed the animals.
zones.
Shush.
We're very close to them.
Or very close to them. I had to cross the zone by a couple spots because there was an animal in danger and I had to get it or we would have lost it. And there was no way it was getting back around to April's turn. So I really enjoy this one. It is a harder cooperative. Like I said, we've played it 4 times now. We finally beat it. And that was on easy mode. So I have been requested to bring this to Ladies Night on Friday. We will see how it goes. But yeah, that is the spill. What does it say? Contain the oil, save the sea life. Sounds like a good plan. So yeah, it's a good one. We're gonna hold on to it. I really enjoy this one. All right.
Next we have SpellBook.
We picked this up at. No, we didn't buy it at Gen Con. We bought it later. We
We
demoed
demoed
it at
it
Gen
at
Con.
Gen Con.
It was not available. That's right.
Or it was already sold out or something. Because we didn't demo it till like one of the last days, late in the last day or something like that.
True. All right, so the best part of this game is these gorgeous spell components. I love these pieces. They're beautiful. And the best, they have the little plastic on them that you peel off, and it's so satisfying to do that. And
you're not going to do it now.
Yes, I am, because I already nicked it.
Oh, no.
Shush. Ha-ha. Anyway. Okay, so the way this one plays, everybody has a set of cards. And everybody plays the same deck. Mm-hmm. So everybody has the same 7 cards in front of them, no matter how you choose them. There are 3 different complete sets in here based on difficulty. There's a little star on here that tells you that. So there are 3 complete sets, 1, 2, and 3, or you can take all of the yellow cards, mix them up, and randomly choose one, and then everybody else grabs the same one from their stack. There is I don't even know what they call this now, but there's 5 spell components out here on the board.
The altar.
The altar, okay. So this is the altar. There's always a minimum of 5 components on here for you to choose from. All right, so you have 7 cards laid out in front of you. You also have a game turn player aid in front of you, and this basically outlines how each of the turns go. Everybody has 3 actions on their turn. You play basically morning, midday, and evening. So in the morning, you can either take one of the 5 stones that are out here, and like I said, there's always a minimum of 5. Everybody always starts the game with 2 in front of them. So you can always take one from here, or you can draw 2 blindly from the bag. You can do that, or you can do a morning card action. Some of these cards have symbols on them, and of course I grabbed cards with no symbols. Well, here's one of the nighttime cards, but there are cards that have morning symbols and midday symbols and night symbols. I could do one of the actions I have unlocked on my morning card if I wanted to. What do they call them? They're not spell components, they're
Materia.
Materia, thank you. I was going to say, all I have to do is look at the card. In the midday, I can store one of the materia I have in front of me, or I can do a midday action off of one of my cards if I have unlocked it. To store a component, you take one of the components you've got and you store it on the 0 space, and then the 1, and then the 2, and the 3, etc. This is one of the game end triggers, is when somebody gets all the way around to the other side. But you can do that if you don't need one of the ones you've got, or you are willing to give up one of the ones in order to free up your hand a little bit, because you can only have a maximum of 9. Mm-hmm. And then in the evening, you can either learn a new spell or do an evening action. To learn a new spell, you have to have a minimum of 3 of one color in front of you. But the more you have, this would be way too many, so maybe I've stored a couple. But the more you have, the better you're going to learn that spell. In order to learn the weakest version of the spell, you have to have at least 3 of the same color, or 3 that can act as a wild. So you have to have 3 of the same color. To do the mid-range spell, you have to have 4, and then to do the highest spell level, it's 5. These are all victory points at the end of the game too, so you want to try and get better. And these let you do different things. Like this particular card is just a one-time action. But say I had this one. So like this is one you unlocked early and made good use of. This one, if I had the 3 one, draw until you have 4 in your pool. So if I only had a couple or maybe 1 left in my pool, this would be very useful. Well, the top one is to draw until I have 6 in my pool. This is a morning action. So this, instead of drawing 1 from here or 2 from the bag, if I only had a couple in front of me, I just draw till I have 6. Very useful. And all the different spells do something different.
Yes.
So, and I like that. And even within the different packs, pack 1 is totally different than pack 2.
Yeah.
All of them are
different.
different.
Because I know the green one, the plant-based one that we played was draw
and then
a
discard,
certain amount
yeah.
and then discard, and that would allow you to rearrange your tokens.
But it was a hard cutoff at 9. You could not have more than 9 in your hand at any time. If you had to draw more and you already had 7, you can only draw 2 more.
Yeah.
Because you can't draw above 9. It wasn't a draw and then discard what you don't want. It was a, nope, you can't have them, period.
Did you realize these all had names as to what they are?
No, I did not. And you're going to tell me what they are, aren't you?
So the yellow one's gold.
That makes sense.
The blue one is mercury.
Okay.
I mean, if you look, you kind of can see it on there. The white is a vapor.
That makes sense.
The black is coal.
Okay.
The green is plant. The purple is poison. And the red is magma.
Magma.
I had to say that.
Okay.
It's magma.
Anyway, I mean, it's an interesting game. I don't know how long it will stay fresh, but I think with all the different spell components, or the different spells that you could mix and match, I feel like there's going to be a variety there for a while.
Yeah.
But it is essentially a race to get all 7 of your cards activated. You can only activate 1 spell level on each one of them, so you can't do all 3 of them. So you have to kind of pick and choose. Is it worth getting the lower one done just to get something done? To clear your hand out or whatever? Or do you want to hold out for that slightly better action or the better points? But anyway, that is SpellBook by Phil Walker Harding. We're going to hold on to it. I enjoy it. I feel like we still have some exploring to do on this one.
What? I can't look at the back of the box.
No. Anyway.
Next, we're going to be Eve.
You.
This is
Use the Force.
Use the Force.
Okay, this is another cooperative. I feel like we had a lot of cooperatives.
Yeah, I did not realize this was a cooperative until we played it. So.
Really? Yeah, we played it a couple times. I remembered it was cooperative, but there are 2 different ways to play this game. There is the family version, which plays 4 players, or there is the advanced version, I think plays up to 8.
Yeah, it plays up to 8.
I could not imagine doing this with 8 colors.
Or you can play it solo.
That's true. So the idea with this one, everybody has their board. Oh my goodness, there we go. Their board in front of them, and this depicts your color. Everybody has a set of cards, and the cards are essentially all mixed up. So depending on the player count, you take a certain number of cards out and mix them all together, because everybody has a hand of cards that may be some of yours, maybe some of others, maybe Wild's.
Nobody really had a color.
Well, that's true. There are colors out.
Colors.
Yes. We played with 4 colors. You would almost have to get the mix that you want. Each color also comes with little identification chips. At the start of the game, you are setting up these directional qualifiers on each of these, randomly done. And then you're putting these chips out, again, randomly. You draw them out of the bag. And I'm just going to pull the red because that's what I have. Let's pretend that one's white. At the start of the game, nobody can be on their own color, and no 2 colors can be together. You can't have both of them together. So
at the beginning.
You've got a hand of cards from all the different colors that are being played. And everybody has 4 cards. And then you have 4, you use 1, you continue. You have a couple of options. You can activate, if I played a purple card, I can activate the purple board, in which case I do what it says. And I move, at this point, I can move either piece to move it 2 spaces past the red shepherd. Well, the red shepherd those are these little Millennium Falcon pieces.
Yep.
2 past the red shepherd. Well, that wouldn't really help me much because that's 1,
no,
2. I'd be right back where I start.
This is the only thing that moves until they come together.
Nope. If you activate the board, you can move either one. But if you activate the piece, you can only move the shepherd. So I would be able to move the shepherd 1. Well, as soon as I move the shepherd here, this gets kicked back to where it belongs. Well, now my 2 whites are together, so yay. So the next time I play a white, I can move the whites 1, and then these 2 will kick back. And then somebody else can play a white card and move the whites here, and these 2 will be displaced. You can never have more than 1 shepherd and 1 sheep on a tile at a time. The idea is to get both the shepherd and the sheep of the same color together and get them back to their home planet before you run out of the deck of cards. The deck of cards is 4 per player plus 4 wilds. As you play a card, you're drawing back up. I've only got purple cards in front of me. I mean, in this case, somebody could play a purple card. Oh, look, I'm going to go here. You always move the shepherd 1 space. Actually, you move clockwise. I was going the wrong way. Oh, well. It was a weird game. And what makes it weirder is there's a stinking timer involved. And every time the timer ran out, the wolf attacked. And if the wolf attacked, you had to get rid of so many cards out of your hand, which just ran through the deck faster.
Yep.
It was weird. I know we played it 2-player a long time ago, and I thought, well, maybe it's just us. We played it again. It's still weird. We're going to let this one go. It's just odd. And we've watched several videos on it, and every video's basically come to the same conclusion. It's just a weird game that is complicated and very hard to win. The more people you add, the whole draw of this game, I feel like, is the fact it can play up to 8 players. I wouldn't want to play this at 8-player. It would be near impossible, especially if you add a timer into the mix. So maybe without the timer, it would be okay. But with that timer, it's just chaos. So that's not right. Anyway, haha. We're going to let Space Sheep go. Yeah, it just didn't get any better with the second play.
Yeah.
It didn't. It really didn't. So anyway, yeah, let's go leave the collection. All right.
Next we have Space Base. This is the command station. This is the big box to hold all your expansions and everything in there. And we only have the one expansion.
We only have one expansion, but we got the command station, 1, to hold the expansion we had, but 2, because it brought in 2 more players. We can now play 7 players. So with this one, and we have not played any of the legacy stuff involved or any of the campaign stuff involved with the expansion yet. It's all still in here. But everybody has their board, and this is the board you can track your credits, your
points. And then the bottom one is points, top one's your credits,
and
this
the middle one
is income.
Yes,
how much you would get.
So everybody starts out with a base set of cards. And these cards are laid out based on this little number up here on your board. So you start off with this, with all of these cards laid out on your board. Everybody has 2 dice, and on your turn, you are rolling both of your dice and using both of your dice. You can use them as a joint number, or you can use them individually. So you roll both.
I got 3 and 2.
Okay, so my choices are, I could take a 5, in which case I get 1 credit, or I could take a 3 and a 2, in which case I get 1 credit for each of them. So I'm obviously going to split this and do this. I add my credits, and there's little cubes here to help me track my credits and my income. On your turn, you're getting what's in the blue. I get my credits. I can save my credits to go for a more expensive card later on, or I can spend them. There are all these different cards laid out on the table that are available for sale. There's 3 tiers of cards, 6 from each tier. And you're buying these cards and putting them into your spaceship. So say this is a tier 1. I had 3 credits, because I think you start with like 5. So I have 3 credits. Now here's the key though. If I start with 5, I just got 2 more, so I'm at 7. If I buy this card, and you can only buy 1 card per turn. If I buy this card, I'm out of credits. You spend everything you have to buy the card.
Just 1 card.
Just 1 card.
Whether it's you had 7 credits and the card only costs 3.
Exactly. So
you use them all.
You buy this card, you put it into the slot indicated by the number up here. In this case, this is an 8. So I would put it into my 8 slot right here, and I would take this card, flip it over, and tuck it under my board. So now, when Greg goes and he rolls an 8, I have a choice of using a 5, a 3, or his 8. When an opponent rolls, The only thing you can do is what's tucked under your board, and you're doing this little top red piece up here. So the only thing I could do is this 8. If he'd rolled a 7, then I'm out of luck because I don't have a 7 and I don't have whatever numbers made those up. As the game progresses, though, you're going to build up lines under some of these numbers. So when your opponent rolls a 7, you now get 6 credits and an income and maybe a victory point and all these different things that come from the cards that you have bought and thus discarded a different card in its place.
Yep.
It's an interesting game. I think we picked it up because we'd always heard good things about it. We actually picked it up because
we had bad company.
We had bad company, and everybody kept saying, oh, that's just like Space Base. And it is.
Yes, it is.
It has the exact same mechanism as Space Base, as this one does.
But it doesn't have the cool little
It doesn't
names.
have the names. Right. There's some differences. I do like it, though. I think it's a fun game. I'm looking forward to playing Shy Pluto so that we can finally get the expansion played. But when we realized that it is almost a legacy style thing, we decided we would hold off on it till we finish these videos. So anyway, that is Space Base. Looking forward to playing some more of it, if it'll finally close. There we go. It was being very slow about it. We're going to hold on to it, though. Like I said, I'm looking forward to playing some more. But yeah. Sticking around. Okay.
Next week. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a heavy one. Yeah.
Space Station Phoenix.
Yes. We have not played this one for a few months. We played this one with
we played this at our
Cabin
Cabin Con.
Yep, back in April. All right. I'm not going to dig much out of this one because
there's a lot.
There's a lot going on here. It's a very big presence. And yeah, it's hard to explain. So yeah, we've got a 3D printed insert in here that...
with no lids.
Yeah, so we're just going to leave it be. I'm going to show some pictures. So the basic idea with this game is that you are starting out the game with potentially nine ships. I think there's one character who has more than that. But you start off the game with 9 ships. You get, well, these are the generics, and then depending on the race you choose, it determines the other ships you get out of the main deck. And I think one player gets 1 extra ship. But the idea with this one, it is a deconstruction game. You are deconstructing the fleet of ships you come with in order to build the space station that is orbiting the Earth. In order to do that, each of these ships is an action. So these are all laid out in front of you, but each one of them lets you do something different. They may let you construct on your space station, and your space station starts off with just this little bitty hub, and then basically everybody has a player board, which is literally buried down here. I'll show pictures. But you have your hub that gives you your starting equipment, and you are slowly building. I think some of them are right here. Yep. But you're slowly building out a little bit at a time until you get your entire space station built, like so. And then there's 3 different colors. There's the pink, there's the blue, and I think there's a brown. But you are building out and filling your stations with aliens. Essentially, in order to build these, you are deconstructing these ships. Some of these ships will give you things, like this one lets me build. This one lets me... Whoop.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. This one lets me destroy another ship.
Yep.
So I could use this ship. Maybe I had 2 ships that build and I don't need this one anymore because the other one I have is better. You never get more ships during the game. You get the 9 or 10 you started with, and that's it. So as you're destroying your ships, you are destroying your actions. Now, there are some generic actions on the board that you could take. They are very weak, but you could take them if you really need them. You could also use somebody else's, but you've got to pay them, and all you're doing is giving them
your money.
Yeah, you're giving them your money. But there are ones that let you build. There's ones that let you destroy. That's another destroy. There are ones that let you do a negotiation, which means you go out here to this board and you start climbing some tech tracks. There are ones that let you go get food or water off of the surface. There's a lot going on in this one. I had forgotten until we played it back in April just how much I really enjoyed this game. It is a very interesting game. We are definitely going to hold on to this one. And like I said, I did not even begin to scratch the surface on what this game does. But we are definitely going to hold on to it. We very much enjoy this one. Yeah, if you want to hear more about this one, this is one that I would not mind doing a playthrough of someday. I don't know if I want to do it live, but I would love to do a playthrough of this one. I feel like live it would be very, very long. But yeah, it's a good one. Very enjoyable. So yeah, anyway, that is Space Station Phoenix, definitely sticking around. Okay.
And last but not least is
Specter Ops.
Specter Ops.
All right, Specter Ops is, oh my goodness. All right, so this is a hidden movement game.
One versus many.
One versus many.
You were the one.
I really am bad at being the one. Let's put it that way. All right, so I don't know if you can see it. This is actually, I mean, it's a standard size board, I guess. I feel like it's very large, but when you're trying to traverse across it in secret, it's very large. So here's your board. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try and move it around so you can hopefully get the gloss off the lights. But there are numbers in each of these little spaces, and they're glossy so that you can see them. The light shimmers off of them, so it makes it a little easier for them to see, or to be seen, I should say. So the person playing the agent has this notepad that they keep track of all their movements on, similar to Scotland Yard. The goal is the agent has to get in here and get information, 3 different pieces of information from somewhere in one of these 4 spots. Well, let me rephrase that. You got to get 1 piece from each of these, from 3 of these 4 spots, I should say. So you can't just go to one area and grab it all. You got to move around the board. And then there are the hunters who are playing, basically they're trying to catch you and to stop you from getting them. I got 2 before I got out, and I was within 1 move of getting the 3rd.
You mean before you get caught?
Before I got caught. I didn't even get close to getting out. I was down here somewhere, and my out was up here.
Yep.
Yeah, they cornered me pretty quick. But essentially the agent is moving around with a limit of 4 spaces per turn, and that's all that the hunters can move to. However, if they find you and corner you, it's very hard to get away. Everything is based on line of sight, which is good, because if you can manage to hide someplace, then great. A couple of turns you guys didn't find me, but most of them you did. There's 4 different agents you can choose from.
Yes.
Each of them has a slightly different power. Like the one I played was Blue Jay. She was able to pick up her data information, her target information, from 2 spaces away. Instead of being right next to it, I could be 2 spaces away from it. That worked once. The other time I had to go right by it anyway, so it didn't matter. But there were other ones that, I don't remember what the powers were on them now, but the hunters each had their own abilities too.
One gave you more hit points.
Yes, one of them gave you more hit points, which I probably should have taken that one. But if they get within range, they can attack you, and each attack does a point of damage. So I got attacked 6 times. It was interesting. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than I remembered enjoying it the first time. And maybe it's just because the first time...
Justin was the one.
Well, it was just the 3 of us.
That.
Justin is very good at being the one. But I don't think that we were as far along in gaming back then.
No, we weren't.
We've had this one for a while. And hidden movement has never been one of my favorites. But it was interesting playing the one on this one. So anyway, that is Specter Ops. It's going to stick around.
And this is actually an older version.
Oh yeah, there's a newer
version out
now.
now.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a decent one. I like it. It's very well received. Yes. I am not big on hidden movement, but I did enjoy it. So we're going to hold on to it. So that is it. Part 7 is done. On to part 8.
And many, many more.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll see you at the next one.